So, I rerouted the channel on this neck here that fit this binding. Now, this was the original binding I put on it. It was white pearl, and I ran out of it and decided to go with just plain old white instead of ordering more, because I got ordered from England and it takes a couple weeks to get here, and I really can't wait. So, we're going to put this white binding on. I'm just checking the channel, make sure everything's good before I go ahead and glue this binding on. So this is the neck. This is for the flying V that we're doing. And there's going to be some white binding put around this fretboard. So we got to put the truss rod in and put the fretboard on, and then put some binding on that. So we're going to work on that peg head here in a minute. But to this body, there's not a lot of work to do to the body of this one. The neck pocket's the biggest thing. We got to route it a little bit deeper, probably like an 1/8 inch deeper, so this neck sits down in there a little bit deeper. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to go pull the router out, go ahead and route this neck pocket down about 1/8 of an inch, and then come back and then start gluing the binding onto this peg head, and then we'll see from there. Okay, so we got this neck pocket routed down to close to the height that we want it. And the reason I say close is on the back side, I still got this rough cut and I got to sand this down a little bit. So when I take this down, we should get us right where we need to be at right around 5/8 of an inch sitting in there. So now on this body is all but done. The only two things we got to do is we're going to go ahead. This was the original jack hole. So I had a tone, or a volume and a tone, and a three-way toggle right here, and I had the jack coming through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put another pot in here and do 2 volumes, 1 tone, and come back to the back side over here and put my jack in the side back here. That's the one thing we got to do. So we got to just put a hole back here for the jack. The second thing we got to do is on this cavity, we got to go ahead and route a small channel around here so you can put a cover on this and make it nice and flush. So this will be the next thing since we got the router ready. We'll go ahead and get this marked off. Once you get it marked off, we can put some pieces of wood on there. Double stick, take them down here and route probably like, I don't know, an 1/8, 3/16 of an inch down, and then have a little lip to set our cover on there. So, what we're doing here is I got my 4 holes from where the other cover set on top of the body here. So we're going to still use these holes more than likely. So I'm going to go ahead and make my marks so we can still make these holes usable. Now it's going to be close up on this side. Not this hole, but this hole up here. This hole's kind of off to the side a little bit. This hole's going to be close. Going to be close to getting to the edge, but we're going to cut it right down along the edge here. We should be good. Same way with down here. It gets kind of close on this corner, but not too bad. So we're going to go like 1/8 of an inch past them holes or so. And what we're going to do is mark, trying to keep it as straight as possible, and mark our lines where we're going to end up routing at. If my pencil was right. Gotta invest in some Sharpie markers maybe. Down the side here, kind of about like that. And down this side, same thing. Let's do it like this. And naturally this thing here, if you can't see the lines, I can barely see them, but this line comes all the way down to like here and comes up like this. But we'll not go down that far. We'll end up coming up and cutting it, like rounding it like in here somewhere right past that hole. It'll come down round, and these all will be rounded. They won't be squared off, because whenever you route the router, but it does make the circle. Even if you got it squared off, it'll make it a rounded. So these will all come rounded, and we'll come up here and round this. You know, come like this. There. Okay, so I'm coming back to the neck before I route this body out here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this binding cut for this peg head. We're going to go ahead and get this glued on or acetoned on, whichever way I go. But I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff cut out because I want to get this done so that way it has time to dry. Then we can come back and work on this body some more. So, because of this way the peg head is and the thickness of the binding, I really can't bend around corners like this, this. Now I can bend around this. I can make that work. But these other ones you can't bend around. So I'm going to have to cut a long piece here, out to here, cut it off, cut a piece here, cut a piece here, cut it, and then put a piece in, glue them all together. And once I sand them down, I can come back through with some acetone and kind of hide them joints there. So that's what I mean about cutting the binding. On a smaller, the thinner binding, I could probably do the whole thing in one piece and bend it around them corners. It'd be tight on this corner and this corner. But I could probably get it done, like with a hairdryer or something. But this is just so thick that it ended up breaking before it bent. Them sharp corners there. So we're just going to go ahead and take a piece, measure it, cut a little bit bigger than we need it. Our snippers here. Then verify that it's going to work. We got a little bit of extra there. If you can see that. So that's the first piece. I'll come back to and cut 3 more pieces on this, and we're ready to glue it on. Okay, so we're ready to glue our, I guess glue's not the right word, we're using acetone to put this stuff on. I got some acetone in my little cup there, and I got a brush here. We're going to brush that stuff on. So what I'm going to do is take the piece on and hold it in place like that. Then I can go ahead and get another piece of tape ready down here where it needs to be at. And what I'll do is put my acetone on and pull a piece of tape up like that, hold it in place, then move up, pull this piece of tape back, put some acetone in there, put the piece of tape back, pull this piece of tape back, acetone all this, put the tape back, add another piece of tape in, and work my way around like that. Okay, so this peg head is done, all taped up, and I'm just going to let this set for a little bit, I don't know, 20 minutes, a half hour, maybe an hour. We'll let it set for a while, and let that completely dry. Take the tape off. Once you get the tape off, then it's going to be sanding the top of this, or scraping the top of this down flush, and then coming back through. The sides are pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to do anything to the sides. They're pretty flush. So that's pretty good. So that takes care of the neck. And now we can get back on this body, routing that rear cavity. We get that rear cavity routed on that body, and I think the body's about ready. Oh, we got to put the jack hole in yet. We got to route the rear cavity and put the jack hole in, but I'm probably not going to get to that tonight. I was looking around and I don't got a double stick tape, so I really don't know a way to do a jig for that. So this is going to be about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.